Hi there everyone, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.wordpress.com. Thank you for joining me today for a festive Friday, and today we're going to play with the In the Pines photopolymer stamp set and the coordinating pine woods dies. So I really liked the look of this when I got the catalogue, so I was very keen to get it, and then I ordered the stamp set and forgot and didn't realise they were matching dies. So I've now got the dies, so that's very exciting. So just a couple of things I just want to point out is that it is a two-step stamping set, and you can see that these images are in pairs so that you can colour them in if you like, using the stamps. So we're going to do a bit of that today, and I've just noticed that there is a little tree trunk there as well for the two trees there. And I guess this might be, I suppose you could use this as a stem through, or a, that could be for that one actually. But that could be the shadow on the ground, as is this one, so that your trees aren't floating in mid-air. And then we've got some cute little speckles there to give the impression of snow. And the greetings are actually, they don't actually say Christmas at all, so this is another set that could be good to send cards to your friends and family that maybe don't celebrate Christmas, who are of different faiths, or don't celebrate it for whatever reason. So that's the stamp set, and then the dies are marvellous, and I was absolutely I actually love these. So we have the 4 dies that cut out the 4 main trees there. We also have 2 solid, they're not stamps, they are dies, so you could cut those out in their own right and maybe sprinkle them with some embossing powder or something, or cut them in vellum or anything like that. So those could just be standalone features. We then have this one, which will cut out like little individual pieces, so you'll get the impression of a tree cut into the cardstock. But we also have these. These doesn't look very exciting, but they can cut your snowdrifts for you, which is great. So rather than trying to cut freehand, which always, it doesn't always turn out the way you want it to, we can die cut those snowdrifts. Brilliant. Okay, so what I want to do today is show you primarily the stamping. So I've already mounted the outline images for the trees, and I'm just going to bring in some Whisper white cardstock, and we're going to go with shaded spruce, because what else would you do fir trees in, eh? So we're going to keep it simple today. There's loads you could probably do with this set, and I've got a few ideas of other things I'd like to do, as I might have alluded to in my introduction. But today we're just going to go with simple stamping, a really nice simple idea. Just to I'm just wiping these off in between times because I want to reuse the block, and I'm going to peel that away, put that to one side, and replace it with the solid one. Okay, we'll put that down for a sec, and we'll do these 3, well they're 4 trees actually, they come together, and I'm going to do 2 of those. Wipe it off. Just got the damp chamois off to my side there, and then we've got the solid stamp there, and then we've got this sort of skinnier one, which we will have just there. Okay, so again I'm just going to swap that out for the other one, and I'm just going to bring in some scrap paper, and I'm going to ink this up with the same ink, stamp off once, and then hover over the top of that. It's a photopolymer set, so you can do that quite easily. It doesn't fit exactly, it just gives the illusion, and you get back that tree coloured in like so. Okay, really, really cool. Really cool. Same with these ones, just hover over the top. Okay, and it's not the end of the world if you don't quite get it lined up. It will just adds to the effect. And then our big one. I don't know whether you can see that, but it's a distinctive, so you get some darker and lighter portions on there. So if I stamp that off up there, so you get definition even just within the stamp. But I didn't want to lose the line art, which is why I'm stamping off the first layer, so you can still see the line underneath the lines. Okay. Now, because I've actually spotted that stem in the stamp set, I'm just going to bring that in just quickly, and I've got a little A block here, and I'm just going to use the same ink and just not blot it off. I'm just going to fill that in. Just the impression of that there, just so it doesn't look so naked. Okay then, so all of those can be die cut out, which I've already done ahead of time, so they are the same images that I've just already die cut out, just to save a little bit of time. Okay, so they line up really, really nice and easily, and again, it doesn't matter. See, these ones are a little bit off. I think the die must have moved slightly as I rolled it through, but it's not going to show. It'll be absolutely fine. So that's those ready to go, and then what I've also got to one side is I've got a Poppy Parade card base and one of my usual card layers, so that's ready to go. And then I wanted just to share a tip about the Snowdrift dies. Now, I don't know which, so this is one of my card layers which I've then put the die across and cut. Okay, so I end up with these. Okay, it might be more obvious on that one. I've done the same with that. Okay, so when I put it on the when I put the die on the cardstock, I envisaged keeping the bit where the wibbly bit, but the flat edge leaves an indentation in the card, so actually I've ended up keeping this bit because it's smooth. Okay, there's no line on that bit at all, it's just where the die's gone. So I've ended up keeping this bit and leaving this bit. You could use them together, I guess, and overlap them, but I'm going to keep this bit, and on this one I've kept this one. So that's what we've got. We've got a soft snowdrift and a more wibbly snowdrift. Okay, and we could layer those up with some dimensionals. So what we're going to do, I think, is we'll start constructing things. We'll use some seal and get this layer on. So I'm not going to do anything too heroic with this at all. I just want to show you how you can use these in a nice simple way, and then we can do something more complicated with it another time. Okay, so that's that. So now my decisions are, do I want to keep that one flat and maybe raise this one up, I think, just to give some depth to the card. Okay, so I think that's what we're going to do, but I'm not going to run the tape too close to the top so that I can slot the trees in behind that snow drift, if I want. I haven't actually decided where these are going to go yet, so oh, that hasn't come out quite straight, but yeah. And I think we will add this one with some dimensionals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put plenty along the bottom. The adhesive foam sheet would have been really good for this. That would have given it all the support evenly across the back. I have remembered to put them on my latest order. And there, and then this over here. Okay, so it's white on white. Beautiful snow. Okay. Nice and simple. Just line that up. There we are, that one's fitted a little better. So now we can play with our trees. Now because we've got the different sizes, oh, I should have stamped the, I forgot to stamp the trunk on that one, but you get the idea. Because we've got the different size trees, we've automatically got a bit of perspective, so they can get smaller as we go across, as we go back into the card. Okay, so these guys just slotted in, it will slot in. And you can build your scene. In fact, I think we might have just a nice little forest. So we just have a nice little sort of forest line in the background there, with just these two guys in the front. But you could mess about with this as much as you like, and have these in all sorts of different ways. You could use them with, there's the what is it called, Trim in the Town. It's got all the little houses in. So you could build a really nice little alpine village with that. Okay, so I think that's really cool. We can get away with that. So let's start putting some of those into place now that we know where they're going to go. I think we'd be better off with some liquid adhesive, so we've got a bit of wriggle room on these. Just going to put a little bit, well, that's probably too much actually, but and then just lift that slightly. Let that hang in there. The glue dries clear anyway, so if you do get anything escaping, it won't show once it's dried. So there we go. There's our first tree line. This glue is very strong, so you don't need much at all. Don't need much at all. Okay, and then this guy is going here. Now, you know what I said about floating trees? Yeah, we've got a floating tree right now, so I'm going to bring in that little image. Where did that A block go? There it is. Bring in that little, those little goofy lines, and I'm going to take some smoky slate. I should have done this before I stuck it down, so this is not good stamping technique at all, but I'm sure we'll get away with it. Fine, there we are. Then we'll ever know. So that just gives that, it just looks like it's got somewhere to live, if you know what I mean. Okay, I'm going to stick a dimensional behind the top of that just to stop it wibbling, and then we'll put glue on the bottom. As close to the top as I can get it without it being visible. And that's going to go right there. Okay. Isn't that, you know, it's just adorable, isn't it? Okay, just adorable. And then all we need to do is add our sentiment. So I can have some convenient scraps of card, look, from my die cutting. And shall we go with season greetings? I think we'll go with season's greetings, and I think what we will do is bring in the Poppy Parade, I think. Oops, sticking to my fingers. Grab my H block. I'm going to use my grid paper to try and get this lined up. So I'm using the top of the A and the G there to get that lined up. Sorry if you saw my head then. And then I'm going to press the block over the top, so it's the stamp's lined up with the grid paper, the block's lined up with the grid paper, and if I stamp on card that's lined up with the grid paper, in theory it should be reasonably straight. So Poppy Parade ink is what we're using, which matches the card base. So like I say, I'm just going to line that up. Like so. Just wash that red ink off there as quickly as possible. And just leave my cleaning pad. I don't carry these anymore, but I do like getting the red ink off. But I want to do it straight away so it doesn't stain. And then that's given that an opportunity to dry, so I can just grab my trusty trimmer and just give that a little bit of a trim. There we are, nice and easy. So, now what I don't know is where this is going to go on my card, and I think I want it coming in off the side here. So I think we need to cut it off somewhere around there, and then we'll put a flag end on there. So if you want to cut a flag end manually, cut up the middle of your cardstock until you want, that's where the inner point wants to be. Cut your flag on that side, twist it over so you will get a perfect mirror image, like so. So that's how you can hand cut a flag end that looks even. The temptation is to add that with dimensionals, but you've got quite a lot of height on there anyway, so I'm just going to add it with some Stampin' Seal. And you know what? I am going to add some bling, because I just feel like it is a little bit stark right now. I know that's hanging off the edge, I'm going to cut it off because it wasn't straight. I should have done it on my trimmer when I had it out. My instincts were telling me to do it then, but I didn't. There we are, easily rectified though. And I think what I'm going to do is, I wasn't going to add any bling to it, but I know it just feels like it needs something on the back there. So I'm going to bring in these lovely little snowflake sequins, which you have seen before. Oh, fingers and thumbs. So there are some more pinky ones and more sort of greeny ones. I think I'm tempted to go with the pinky ones, just to bring out the red a little. And we'll use the Take Your Pick tool, and we'll just add a few of these here and there. So use odd numbers, and then it looks just looks pleasing to the eye if you use odd numbers. I've gone down here as well. Just to give some interest to that background, that's all. So it isn't quite so stark. And I'll tell you what else we could do. Oh yes, some wink of Stella. Just add a little bit of frosting to that. So I'm not painting it on necessarily, I'm just scribbling it over the top, just adding some hint of sparkle to those. This will move water-based ink if you go over it too much, so just sparingly over there, just to give it some sparkle. There we go. I think that's really, really pretty. Very simple, but very pretty. Can we see the... Just wondering if we can get the sparkle on the trees there. Isn't that lovely? So just a hint of something. Okay, and a nice simple card. I've got to jazz that up with all sorts of things and add a ribbon and all. So, but no, just something simple for today. And I hope you've enjoyed that. Links, as always, will be in the description bar below. You can check out my blog at inkybutterfly.wordpress.com as well, where there'll be links to every single product that I use to make the project. If you've liked this, would be great, and if you aren't already a subscriber, please do subscribe, and if you want to see more of my videos, then please tap the notifications bell. Thank you very much for joining me, and I don't think I'm seeing you at the weekend, this weekend, so I'll see you on Monday, okay, for another round of card making. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Take care. See you soon. Okay, bye.